name is Steve Stevens, the best sports consultant money can buy. I make more money betting sports than anybody in the world. I'm the one that tells you who to bet. I'm not a bookie, I'm the bookie killer.
If money talks, then I got a lot to say. I'm on the grind trying to make $100,000 a day. The game that I pick, believe me, it's a winner. What I know could get you rich, cause all I pick is winners. Welcome to Las Vegas. Money talks, money talks. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Can you feel me?
I feel you, buddy. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the VIP Sports Podcast. Happy New Year to everybody out there. 2018 is here in full effect, and it's time to get paid. I want everybody to have a beautiful, beautiful money-making year. Coming at you directly from our office here at VIP Sports in the beautiful city of Las Vegas, Nevada. Coming from our beautiful state-of-the-art, or would you just say exquisite studio, sponsored by our boys at, where, Skip?
BetOnline.ag.
Happy New Year's, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, man, we had a great time. I'm glad I hope everybody was safe. Skip made it in. His head was pounding like the prostitute's pussy on that night, but seems like you made through it. You did pretty good, huh?
I don't know which ball dropped harder, the ball in Times Square
or the balls on the hose?
Or my balls on my bookie's chin.
What'd you do, man? Did you have a good time or what?
I dropped my balls on the bookie's chin for New Year's weekend.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Penn State, baby. Happy Valley. Big Ten representing.
Get your fucking money. Anyway, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's January 4th, 2018.
Already, we're 4 days into 2018.
Buddy, and we're at a milestone. Podcast number 150. Like I said, podcast number 150, ladies and gentlemen. Couldn't be more excited. Boy, as it went fast, huh, Skip?
361 more days, we could celebrate New Year's again.
Oh, we're going to in a major way. Like I said, everybody out there last year, I hope you had a beautiful year, but I wanted to make sure that this year is going to be better. You know, one thing that I take, pride in being as a business owner and a sports consultant is always doing better than the year before. And I want to give a shout out to you and our team. As you know, 2017 was more successful than 16. And when you can have a bigger successful year running our business, not being on TV than when we were on TV, I got to fucking tip my hat to you.
I got to be honest with you.
Congratulations, dude. You've got your shit together.
Thank you very much.
And you know what? The room's actually smaller than normal.
Yeah.
We're not hosting fucking 40 or 28 people right now. What do you got in there? 18? 14 fucking people?
No, there's 17 or 18 right now.
But I'm saying holding up a steady, $180,000, $200,000.
Well, I got
$100,000 on a bad week during this time ain't too bad.
I got to hand it to you because you said that it was going to be bigger and bigger and bigger, just like your girl said.
No, she said she wanted it.
Oh, she wanted it bigger. All right. But
when they're pulling in your butt cheeks, that's a sign of telling you, I wish you had a couple more inches on your dick. That's what that is. Oh.
So anyway, on a professional note,
yes, sir.
You did say that it was going to be a big year. It was going to be bigger than the year the show came out on CNBC. And I told you, I don't know if that's possible, Steve. And sure enough, 2017 was bigger, better, and more profitable than the first year we came out on CNBC, and I didn't think it was possible.
I told you that. Well, here's the deal. Thank God to the podcast. Thanks to our success. Thank you for everybody that does business with us. I'm blessed enough to be able to deal with the biggest sports bettors in the world, and that, puts us in a position to where if we show results, these guys pay, and that's what the business is all about. It's not about text messaging, $10 games. It's not a matter of a guy signing up for $50 for a season, or a guy pay after winning in his underwear. I mean, sports consultant isn't about that at all. Stock market is in full fucking effect right now. People have money in this world right now, man.
Oh, my God.
In the United States, people in the stock market are getting absolutely fucking paid. There's money betting sports, which means the economy is coming back, ladies and gentlemen. Here by February, March, Jesus, Skip, by March Madness, all of the Americans' money should be really, really ready to go.
Stock market's doing well. They're making America great again. And a lot of people getting rich in the cryptocurrency markets, and a lot of people getting rich in the sports betting markets.
I was just going to say, we have a beautiful show for you today. We're going to tell you how to get rich betting sports.
Absolutely.
As you know, the VIP Sports Podcast is all about the legalization of sports betting. and making you guys better sports bettors. Taking the average housewife out there that's sitting at home doing nothing.
And bending her over.
Besides bending her over, showing her how to turn $1,000 into $2,500 a week.
Yep.
Showing her how to bet $500 a game and make an extra $2,000 a week, $8,000 a month. You know, it gives her something to do rather than sit home and look for the pool guy to come by and hammer her when the husband's at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, watching reruns of,
because a lot of
days of our lives.
It's not so much in the mid class. It's more like middle upper and upper. When people are making money, they're at work a lot more. You got to show your wife attention because her pussy throbs and she's going to get it hit one way or another. You know what I mean? So if you're going to be married and have a girl at the house, you got to show her a little attention if you're making that money and take care of your kids. Otherwise, she's just going to fuck the neighbor and everybody else, don't you think?
Let's hope that's not happening. 2017 was an amazing year, and you are correct. We're looking for bigger and better things in 2018, just like your girl is.
Show is brought to you by betonline.ag, paperhead.com, and betdsi.com, and more importantly, mynuts.com. Right on your bookie's chin, like I said. Today's show, we got a major preview. We're going to go over some sports betting news. We're going to recap college and NFL. Football is popping right now. I want to give a shout out to Michigan. I'm not going to lie. I don't walk on water. I bet Michigan and lost. I bet 110 fucking thousand. You know, Skip, we're not one of those.
The only Big Ten team not to win their bowl games.
Yeah, so I want to give a shout out to Michigan for sucking a good
Way to
old-fashioned
go, Harbaugh.
cock. Floyd Money Mayweather actually called me that morning to tell me how his strip club is just fucking off the hook right now, how they had a big old party, was wondering why I wasn't there, and told me personally, I don't like it. Because, you know, we talk about betting big money on big fucking games. I mean, don't get me wrong. Him and I both hit Alabama for $100,000 each later on that day. But shout out to Michigan for playing absolutely fucking terrible. Everything that they worked for the year, they just look like absolute shit. You let them Gamecocks fuck you over is what you did, didn't
They got a cock, all right.
Anyway, January 4th, 2018. Let's go over some NFL wild card games. We're going to go over some off-the-field news. If you want to get a hold of us, 877-220-6540. As you know, we have a lot of trolls. Everybody acts like us. They wait for someone to make a comment, and then they troll them, do a reverse search on their phone number. Before you know it, you're getting a call from someone either saying VIP sucks or they're imitating to be VIP Sports, one or the other. We don't text message. We don't email. We don't text blast. None of that shit. Free could be the most expensive word in the world. Somebody calls you up, offers you a free game, gives you the game, it loses. What part of free was that, Skipper?
That's pretty expensive if it loses.
Cheap things aren't good. Good things aren't cheap. You get what you pay for in this world, my friend.
You ain't lying. Go to our website, VIPSportsLasVegas.com. We have packages on there for all shapes and sizes of sports bettors.
Crawling or balling.
Doesn't matter what level of play you're at. Go to our website. There's different packages for different levels.
If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, Big Skipper, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And when you click the subscribe button, make sure you ring our bell, would you? You click onto that bell. That way you get alerts. We'll notify you. You don't have to come looking for us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Nothing better than getting those motivation 101s or the Rolls Royce cams or a picture of fucking $100,000 jackpot or a $500,000 sports book, seeing us over at Caesars. Ran into a couple good guys at Caesars this weekend, huh, Skip?
Yes, we did.
We still have a lot of fans in Caesars Palace. I got to say, we love you.
First class joint.
Those motherfuckers will let you bet. You know who the Caesars reminds me of? Good old Benny Binion back in the day at the Binion. You want to bet $500,000? Bring your ass to my hotel. I'll book it. Caesars will take your action, bro. Yeah. We've taken them for a lot of money, and they still look at us
They're
like
not afraid to take.
They look at us like we're little dick fucking bitches.
They're not afraid to take $50,000 on a straight bet.
Anyway, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate all the thumbs up. We read every one of your comments, and believe me, we respond accordingly. We want to welcome all of our new listeners from around the world on the Podcast One. To the
Tens
VIP.
of thousands of them.
Everybody out there on the Podcast One. I mean, from the TrueCar app promotion that you guys gave us for a ton of money, to all the listeners we got over there at Podcast One. Mm-hmm. I couldn't be more happy for bringing all of our sponsors over there to them and just really allowing them to prosper and take care of us and really have a great relationship.
It's been a great marriage.
Yeah, it's been a great marriage, or more, should I say, more like a domestic violence, because that's how the fuck. So, shout out to our boy over there, kid at Podcast One. I know you guys ain't knowing how to sell the show too much, but frankly, me and Skip don't give a fuck. I work very hard to bring my money in and take care of people, And like I said, it's real easy to sell our show. I'm the 50 Cent of the sports business. I say what I mean what I say, and there's nothing a motherfucker can do about it. We know more things about sports betting than anybody in the world. You watch ESPN, you get an announcer on there that goes over stats who doesn't have a clue about betting himself. Doesn't bet himself, lives in Florida. We're actually guys that bet money. So how do you sell this show? It's a sports betting show of guys that actually deal with the biggest sports bettors in the world. You ever seen our show, Money Talks, that was on fucking primetime television?
Right.
11 episodes? Yeah, showing me dealing with the biggest sports bettors in the world and being a kid from the streets that don't take no shit. That comes from nothing, had a hard beginning, and became the best sports consultant in the world with the biggest firm and the best salesman in the business. Shouldn't be too hard to sell the 50 Cent of sports betting and a sports betting show of guys that actually bet the games themselves.
And are here in Vegas.
Rather than a guy that talks about it. Shout out to RJ Bell. We love you. You've never made a bet in your life for a guy that knows a lot about sports betting.
I mean, it should be real easy to get Vegas promotions, right?
Pretty simple, I'd say.
Sponsors from Vegas, hotels.
Yeah. Shout out to TrueCar out there for $200 a week. I don't need you.
Shout out to Boyd Gaming.
Yeah, shout out to all the big boys. And shout out to Joe. We love you. Don't let that rant get you down. It's real, my friend. And we want to welcome, like I said, everybody to the Podcast One app. Like I said, we're excited to be bringing you into our lives of a guy that bets big and lives larger. Download our episodes on Podcast One every Thursday on the Podcast One app, Apple Podcasts, or thepodcast1.com. If you're just listening to the podcast and not watching it, you're definitely missing out because all of our viewers and all of our people are over there on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's where you can catch us. You might want to go to VIP Sports Las Vegas on YouTube because that's where all of our viewers have been, and that's where they all are. And that's where we create all of our
And that's
business.
where they're going to keep coming from.
And that's where they're going to keep coming from. So YouTube, be getting ready to cut a major deal with VIP Sports because here we come exclusively.
You can find us on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. We're at VIP Sports LV. You can direct message us there anytime with any questions, and we'll get right back to you. That's for sure.
Let's go over the VIP stat of the week, okay, brother?
Let's do it.
Marquette sophomore guard Marcus Howard, 52 points, tied a Big East record for the most points in a game in the Golden Eagles' 95-90 overtime victory against Providence on Wednesday.
I saw that last night. Absolutely insane. 52 points, Marcus Howard.
Congratulations, brother.
From
That's
the Marquette Golden Eagles, putting it up in overtime.
That's going off is what the fuck that's doing. What about the woman version of Shaquille O'Neal?
Oh,
Her name even sounds like Shaquille O'Neal. Her name is Shaquilla Hill.
Shaquilla Hill.
Shaquilla Hill.
Yeah.
Grambling State's woman guard, Shaquilla Hill, led the Tigers to win last night behind what did she do? She fuck around and got a quadruple double.
Fucked around and got a quadruple double.
God damn. Behind a quadruple double, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 steals.
Wow, that's keeping busy.
Goddamn right it is.
15 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 steals.
You're damn right.
Wow.
Like I said, Hill's quadruple double was the fourth in NCAA history for women, and the first time Arkansas State, Soha Tate did it in what, 93?
Hasn't been done since 1993.
It's been done 4 times, but it hasn't done previous since 93.
Right. Women's college basketball hasn't been done in 24 years. Shaquilla Hill.
Fuck around and got a quadruple double. Congratulations, sweetheart.
The female version of Shaquille O'Neal.
Now check this out. This is what's even more interesting because one thing we've always talked about is the players and the talent have got better in the NBA, right? So I want to ask you, when do you think the last time someone got a quadruple double in the NBA was?
I got to be honest with you, I wouldn't know.
It was the Admiral.
Oh, David Robinson.
David Robinson of the San Antonio Spurs. He had 34 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 blocks in 1994.
Well, there you have it, 23 years ago.
Just saying, none of these new players out there, no Harden, nobody's fuck around and got a quadruple double.
That is kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like I said, guys, you want to break the mold out there in NBA? Get a quadruple double and boss up a little bit. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's move into some college basketball, Skip, because as you know, it's our bread and butter right now. You want me to lie to you? Yeah, we just had the bowl games. I actually lost a couple big bowl games, won some as well, been kicking ass, but my money's coming from basketball. It's not even a fucking secret.
College basketball will be your bread and butter, folks, for the next 90 days from now through the Final Four. It's all about college basketball. We are making a lot of money in hockey, And those hockey totals are still on fire, Steve.
But you can't bet
Wow.
50,000 on them. That's the only thing that kills us.
Well,
you know?
it's hard to get 50 grand in on a hockey game. You really got to spread tickets. The most these books will take on a hockey game here in town, every once in a while you'll be able to get a $5,000 or $10,000 bet in, maybe with William Hill. It's really difficult to get a big bet in on hockey. When we do want to put 50,000 on one of these totals,
God, it's too much work.
like that Tampa Bay under the other night, fucking wow, 2-0.
Got 'em. Easy
2-0,
money.
Easy money.
Anyways, but right now I just want to talk about college basketball being on fire,
Yes.
and I want to go into that segment. And our sports betting news is brought to you by our boys over there at betonline.ag. BetOnline.ag is one of the web's most popular betting destinations. Sign up for an account using the promotional code ALLDAY. Get a 50% welcome bonus instantly added to your bankroll. With its management team together since 1991, BetOnline.ag wagering on nearly every sport and event possible. Once you're in action, you'll see firsthand why BetOnline.ag has an A+ rating, including the earliest opening odds in the industry, the best live betting software in the business, and most importantly, fast payouts. BetOnline.ag, because you can.
I wish they would talk to my son about getting some A+.
Yeah, no shit.
Jesus
Shout out
Christ.
to Peyton out there, too. Huh?
Shout out to Right Side. Fucking Right Side struggling with those grades, bro.
Let's get them up. Let's get them up.
I think I need them Bet Online to go talk to Right Side about how to get an A+, because he's coming home with those D+.
I love your yes.
Fucking Right Side, what's up?
I don't know. Let's get right side. Let's
He's
get
got
it up.
his-
Your stressing pops out, bro.
He's got his head in PlayStation 4 and the fucking Eagles right now.
Unfucking believable. So, what do you want to go over now? You want to talk? I mean,
I don't know. What the fuck?
No,
You
I'm
want
in
to
a
talk
good.
about
I'm in a good mood. I just want to talk about college basketball, how we can get money. I also want to talk about recapping last week. Why don't we do a recap section before we even get into the
Let's do it.
college basketball?
Let's fucking
because
recap.
We have a lot to talk about on that. We recapped last week, if you guys recall. We said Oakland is 1-4 and 2 against the spread.
Let's set the, excuse me, let me set this up properly.
Okay, go ahead.
Last week we didn't have a podcast because of the holiday and New Year's and Christmas.
We dropped the best of, which, by the way, why the fuck don't the best of get any views?
Yeah, why was the viewership down with the best
No,
of?
it always is.
I got to tell you, it was
No
fucking
one
good.
went. No one-
Joe, you did a great job with that.
Yeah, you really did, Joe. Shout out to Joe.
Shout out, Joe, for the best of 2017 video last week.
If it ain't-
I thought it was phenomenal.
If it ain't live and it ain't nothing new, they don't give a
Well, a
fuck.
lot of people were traveling. It was the holidays. They were with their families.
Are you that naive? They listen to our show to fucking get winners.
I am.
And if you play our fucking
understand.
our past, they can't
True.
get nothing out of it.
True that.
You ever think about it?
No, you're exactly right.
What the fuck are they going to get out of this podcast?
So instead of, they didn't watch the best of last week because they didn't get any free winners.
exactly.
You're exactly right.
Where the fuck have you been?
However, if you didn't watch the best of last week, man, you missed a great fucking podcast. And Joe, you really did a great job with it. So go back when you got some time and watch the podcast from last Thursday. That best of 2017 was funny as shit.
But it's not a matter of being funny. It hurts my heart that no one watches it because we actually tell the future before it happens in
absolutely.
so many fucking ways.
Which is what we're about to get into, a little recap. But what I wanted to clarify was last week we had the best of. So what we're recapping right now is
Recap that shit for him, Skip.
what we're recapping right now is what we told you 2 weeks ago, when we did the Christmas podcast. We told you that in week 16, the Oakland Raiders were 1-4-2 against the spread their last 7 games. We told you Oakland was 0-4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games on the road. We also told you that the under has gone in 5 of Oakland's last 5 games on the road.
We sat here and told you to write it down. The last 5 games on the road have went under. We said it like 50 fucking
The bottom
times.
line is we told you Oakland doesn't travel well. They do not cover on the road, and they're usually low-scoring games. In fact, 5 in a row have been unders. So they went into Philly to the link, where Philly does nothing but cover at home.
Well, they were 5-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games at home, like we said.
And guess what happened? The Eagles covered the game 20-13, and it was a stone-cold under.
Sir,
There you go. We gave it to you.
we
Again.
only recapped 4 games last week. There's
Eagles
2
and under.
winners right fucking there. What else do you want from us, ladies and
We
gentlemen?
also said the Seahawks. We talked about the Seahawks game. We told everyone that Seattle was 9-3-1 against the spread in their last 13 games after a loss.
You said specifically you're not a big fan of Pete Carroll.
I don't like Pete
But
Carroll.
he does a great job getting his team back on track after a loss.
Yes, he does. And guess what? You said that he motivates his troops to go out and get the job done, was our exact words, after they lose a game.
And it sounds to me that's exactly what the fuck they done. Because
Pete Carroll's one of the best coaches in the NFL when it comes to bouncing back off of a loss. And we sat here and we told you that. They were a 5-point dog going into Dallas. And
outright winner.
And guess what happened? They beat them outright.
21-12, absolute blowout fucking winner.
Right. So, I mean, we could sit here and give it to you all day long. I also, I gave a little cough last week on that show when we talked about the Alabama-Clemson game. I think I went something like this, Steve. Under.
Well, yeah.
Under.
We get. That's what I just told my client. He's like, how come I didn't have Alabama? I said, we gave it out for free on the podcast.
All you got to do is listen. Turn your ears up, people.
All we're trying to do is make you guys money, and that is the bottom fucking line. Why don't we preview some NFL first, Skip? And like I said, NFL preview, like I said, is by our boys over there at paperhead.com. Mm-hmm. Hit the ground running and start your business with the best player software management in the business, paperhead.com. And today they're offering an exclusive Bookie Bootcamp, which will show you how to get your own boss and start making some real money.
The Bookie Bootcamp is back, people.
Let's go, Bookie Bootcamp. Jot down the link appearing on your screen right now. Try.paperhead.com/VIP sports. Sign up for the 14-day Bookie Bootcamp, okay? Where you'll get a 50% off Paperhead's stellar platform, get the actionable lessons to build your business right away, and get the resources to help you grow your empire directly from the people who pioneered it. This offer is exclusively for the fans of the VIP Sports Podcast, so act now. If you're like myself and you bet big and live larger, there's no better place than paperhead.com. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Let me ask you something. While you're finishing that little smoky over there and catching your breath, okay?
Catching my breath?
Well, now that you just read the sponsor's ad, and, I mean, you're all fired up. I mean, you're explaining to people how Podcast One is absolutely bringing us tons and tons of views straight to YouTube.
Marketing us very, very well, selling us in a very good way.
I spent a little time.
How hard was it to sell 50 Cent?
I spent a little time. Listen, we should have fucking Crown Royal as a sponsor and sit here with a bottle of Crown Royal. We should have vitamin water.
Thank God I own my own strand of Master Closer Kush
We
because
should have vitamin water. We should have fucking Boyd Gaming. I mean, fuck.
You guys want to sponsor the VIP Sports Podcast? Go to VIPSportsLasVegas.com. Get with the administration, and we can go from there.
I mean, we're in Las Vegas, for Christ's sake. Shouldn't we be selling Vegas?
What's your point?
I was going to give you a little break so you could catch your breath and finish your joint over there.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, you're going to go over some NFL?
I spent a little time going over this postseason NFL.
Least you can do.
What I'd like to do is talk to the folks for a couple of minutes here, maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
As long as it's teaching, you going to educate them?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and grab a pen and a piece of paper.
Hurry up, grab a pen and a piece of paper. I'll hold.
What we're about to go over here, my friend,
very crucial,
is going to help you tremendously, okay?
Okay, you guys ready? Go ahead, Skip. I'm going to go ahead and blow this blunt.
Well, the guys always like who's hot and who's not segments on the podcast.
Of course.
Okay? Heading into the postseason, I'd like to talk about the teams that are coming in with a winning momentum, with a winning vibe, okay? Winning is an attitude. It's a feeling, okay?
It's called swag.
I'm going to talk to you about who's coming into the playoffs not so hot and who's coming into the playoffs hot, both straight up and against the spread.
Who's coming in hot, Skip?
The hottest team, go figure.
Who's hotter than a pistol?
Go figure. The hottest team coming into the playoffs, the Patriots.
Oh, shit.
They've won 3 straight games. They've won 11 out of 12 games straight up. And are you ready for this? They've covered 9 out of their last 10 games.
You guys better stop fucking with the New England Patriots. They covered more than any team this year. They blew people out, but yet people like you and other people still don't bet them every week.
Still, there's a lot of haters out there. You either love the Patriots, Brady.
Tom Brady, I'm on your dick. I love you. You've made me a ton of fucking money. And you guys covered this year.
You even put them in the song.
Fuck
around and put a $500,000 on Brady.
God, well, that was real. And I'll maybe be doing it again this year, dude.
Fuck around and put a $500,000 on Brady.
When it comes to betting sports,
you always know you got a shot, right?
Yeah, goddamn
you put your money on Brady and Belichick, you know you got a shot.
That's a fact.
And if you bet him the last 10 games, you've covered 9 out of 10.
And if you bet him second half, his statistic is it's amazing.
I've never seen a team come out of a fucking locker room.
54 comebacks, I think, in the fourth quarter.
They're the best team in the world I've ever seen come out of a locker room and fucking score on that first drive in the second half. All the time. I mean, the preparation is phenomenal. So who's hot heading into the postseason?
Besides the Patriots, yeah. Who?
The hottest team's the Patriots. They won 3 straight, 11 out of 12 straight up, and more importantly, they've covered 9 out of their last 10 games. The other hot team heading into the playoffs, the Minnesota Vikings. They've won 3 straight, Steve. They've also won 11 out of their last 12 games, and they're 9-1-1 against the spread their last 11 games. Shout out to Mike Zimmer and the Minnesota Vikings. Red hot moving into the postseason.
Who else is hot?
Kansas City.
Oh, my God.
Kansas City's won 4 straight games.
You talk about a roller coaster.
Kansas City has won 4 straight games heading into the playoffs and has covered all 4 of those games, my friend.
You're talking about their last 4 games?
Their last 4
Yeah,
games
yeah.
of the
Well-
regular season. Now, they had lost what?
Hold on.
They've lost 5 out of 7 or 6
Yeah, I
out
was
of
just
7
gonna say,
right before that?
They've been the most roller coaster
Roller
fucking team
coaster.
of the year. They opened up the year with a 5-0 straight up
Yeah.
and against the spread. Came out pounding motherfuckers.
Yep.
The number 1 covering team in the NFL was the Chiefs.
Right out of the gate.
5-0 against the spread.
Everybody had them in the Super Bowl.
They were fucking pounding everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Followed that up, Skip, with a 1-6
Right.
straight up and against the fucking
Lost
spread.
6 out of 7 after that. And
Everybody and their mom, after they went 5-0, bet them for the next 5 games, and every one of them fucking lost.
Well, shout
they
out-
lost 6 out of fucking of those 7 games and was in a major slump. However, eventually coming back, like you said, winning 4 in a row and locking up the AFC West. Unfucking believable.
and covering those 4.
Yeah.
So shout out to Andy Reid for getting his team back on track heading into the postseason. It's very important to have that momentum. They've won 4 straight and covered all 4 of those games, so they're the 3rd hottest team heading into the postseason.
Against the spread, they've
They
won.
actually have the longest winning streak heading into the postseason. They've won 4 straight. Patriots have won 3 in a row. Vikings have won 3 in a row.
They have 10 games. What are they? What, 10-5, 10-6?
Kansas City's 10 and what the fuck are they? 10 and 6? Yeah, 10 and 6 straight up, and 10 and 6 against the spread. Ironically,
So, I mean,
the thing about Kansas City is every one of the games they've won, they've covered, and every one of the games they've lost,
they
didn't-
get blown
didn't
the
cover.
fuck
They
out.
didn't cover.
Yeah, I agree.
So also, let's talk about teams that have won heading into the playoffs. So you
No,
got
hold on.
You got the Patriots, you got the Vikings.
Correct.
You got Kansas City's won 4 in a row. They're actually the hottest team heading into the playoffs
Okay.
with 4 straight wins.
Okay.
The Steelers have won 10 out of 11, and their last 2, they got a 2-game win streak, and they've won 10 out of 11 heading into the playoffs. Now be careful.
I do not like my money on Pittsburgh.
I'm
I
glad you
hate
said
betting
that.
their team. They're in slow motion. Ben Roethlisberger's in slow motion.
I'm glad you said that.
Fuck, they
They've
win.
won, listen to
They
me,
win,
Steve.
but they don't fucking
they've
cover.
They've won 10 out of 11 heading into the playoffs. They've won 2 in a row. However, their last 6 games they've only covered once.
Yeah, see, there you go, man.
So be careful. How many
they're
times?
winners.
How many times do we tell you in this business?
Money line.
You don't have to stay ahead. You have to beat the spread to get some head.
Beat the spread, get some head. That's a
Right.
fucking fact.
Good, look at me, people. Good teams win. Great teams cover. Period. The Steelers are winning games, Steve.
All right, well, then, okay.
They're not covering. They've only covered once their last 6 games.
So we know the Patriots, you know Minnesota, we know Kansas City, we know the teams that are going to come in hot. Tell me who's coming in not hot.
Let me just briefly talk about the other teams that have won a game or 2 before they've coming in. Tennessee has won their last game. They've covered 5 out of their last 6 games.
Yes, they have. To be
Tennessee 5-1 against the spread heading into the postseason.
Well, they're 1-4
Okay.
straight up and against the spread in their last 5 home games. Is what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, the only problem is they're on the fucking road.
Okay, so go ahead.
So Tennessee has covered their last 3. They've covered 5 out of their last 6 heading into the postseason, and they're on a win streak, a 1-game win streak.
2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games overall, though, right?
Atlanta, no, maybe on the road.
Well, Tennessee's just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7
7
games.
road games.
Correct.
Right. However, they've covered 5 out of their last 6 straight games.
At home.
So, just out of
Period.
their last
Okay.
6 games, they've covered 5.
I don't follow Tennessee. I don't put money on Tennessee. They've been such an iffy team this week. And by the way, sports bettors out there, Tennessee Titans is not a team that you put big money on at all.
Well, the thing
Neither are the fucking Chiefs.
The thing about Tennessee is they do not cover on the road. However, they have covered 5 out of their last 6, and they're on a 1-game win streak heading into the postseason, and they've covered their last 3. So Atlanta has won 1 game heading into the postseason. Atlanta's 5-3 heading into the postseason. Buffalo won their last game, 3-1 against the spread their last 4. So those are the teams that are coming in off a win streak, both straight up and against the spread.
When's the last time Buffalo was in the playoffs before this year?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
It's a long
It's been
fucking
it's
time.
been a while. So just real quick, these 7 teams are on a win streak heading into the postseason, and they're also on a major against the spread streak, except for the Steelers. Tennessee, Kansas City, Atlanta, Buffalo, the Patriots, the Steelers, and Vikings are all coming in on a win streak and have all been getting the money against the spread except the Steelers. They've been winning but not covering. Now you want to talk about who's cold coming into these playoffs?
Yeah, I do.
All right, Lynn, let's do it. Believe it or not, the Rams are only 2-2 their last 4 games straight up. And out of those last 4 games, they've only covered once. Okay? The Rams do not cover, my friend. However, they're in a good spot at home this week in the wild card round. Jacksonville Jaguars. Everybody thinks they're the sleeper in the AFC, right, Steve? Jacksonville, oh, they're playing great. They're playing phenomenal.
Now, fuck Jacksonville.
They've lost 2 games in a row, and they haven't covered either one of those games. And the last 6 games, Jacksonville's only 3-3 against the spread. The Saints, let's talk about the Saints for a second. They lost their last game, so they're coming in off of a loss.
Yeah, I had them. I ain't gonna lie.
The Saints are only 2-5. 2-5 against the spread their last 7 games. That's big heading into the postseason. The Eagles coming into the postseason off a loss. 0-3 against the spread their last 3 games, and the Eagles have only covered once in their last 5 games. So they're a little cold coming into the postseason off of that 6-0 loss, that last game of the regular season, even though it really didn't mean anything, that game against Dallas. But they're a little cold. The other team is a little cold, Carolina, 0-2 against the spread their last 2, and has only covered 2 out of their last 5 games. So teams that are not getting the money coming into the postseason, the Rams,
St. Louis, Saints, Carolina.
the Rams, Jacksonville, Carolina, the Saints, and the Eagles have not been getting the money. Those 5 teams, you might want to be a little suspect when it comes to against the spread numbers heading into the postseason.
The line isn't adjusted completely correct on Philly with Foles back there.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens. It all depends. They got this bye week.
Why don't we do this? Fuck it. Because, like I said, the playoffs are major. This is where everybody's betting big money. We got whales coming into town.
Right.
Shout out to Mr. Rivers out there. Shout out to Mr. McKinley. Had a great time with you at Caesars, man. Hung out, made a lot of fucking money with you. Got a lot of clients coming into town. So maybe
My Asian friend, Mr. Shea.
Mr. Shea.
Mr. Shea, who I met down at the M Resort.
Why don't we do this?
Shout out to Mr. Shea.
Why don't we take a little break? We'll come back.
right.
We'll preview some more of these games, tell these people how to get their money,
Let's
who
do
they
it.
need to bet on, who they need to stay away from. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
See you after the break. You do like making money, correct? I'm Steve Stevens. I'm the one that tells you who to bet. I'm not a bookie. I'm the bookie killer. Whether you're here in town on business or to flat out gamble, don't forget, sports betting is a multi-billion-dollar industry and you deserve your fair share. Call 877-220-6540 or go to VIPSportsLasVegas.com, mention this ad, and get a $500 personal play absolutely free. See you in the winner's circle.
BetDSI.com. Over 20 years in business, A+ rated and fast and free payment of winnings with odds on all sports and global events. Get a free $25 right now to try the site and a 100% bonus on your first deposit. Go to BetDSI.com now because it's only a game until you bet it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the VIP Sports Podcast. We just recapped, went over a couple different situations, told you what to look out for. Talked about some NFL games. What we're going to do now is some previews, okay?
Let's do it.
These games are coming up. We're going to tell you one thing about the VIP Sports Podcast. We don't go over every single fucking game. We don't handicap 18 different games. We break down the games. We go over 3, 4, 5 games that you either need to watch and make money on or games to stay away from. Real fucking simple. After all, this podcast is all about making you money, making you a better sports bettor, and take you to the next level and show you how to go over and beyond what you ever thought was possible in the sports betting world. Fair enough, Skip?
Fair enough.
Let's go over some preview. Who's first?
You want to talk about the Titans and Chiefs game? Or
Yeah.
we did talk about that pretty
Let's
much.
talk about it more. Go ahead.
You want to talk about it more?
Atlanta at Rams. You're the one that say Rams do not cover. This is a game that I want to talk about. Atlanta's iffy, but they're coming back strong. I want to talk about Atlanta at the Rams. -6.5, 44.5 total.
Go ahead.
You tell me.
Well, the game's actually, I saw a lot of places are already up to 7. I mean, the Rams opened up -5.5, Steve. The game's at home. It'll be played at the Coliseum out there in L.A. Atlanta will be traveling clear across the country to sunny California. Rams open -5.5, up to 6.5 or 7, depending on where you're shopping. Total came out of 48.5. It's pretty much sticking right around there. It hasn't moved too much. I see some 48s. I see some 48.5. So not a whole lot.
The public's betting the Rams in the over or Rams in the under?
Well, the total hasn't moved too much, but definitely a lot of money been coming in on the Rams in this wild card round. Went from 5.5 to 7. Now, I got a whole lot to say about this. And if money talks, then I got a whole lot to say, Steve.
Well, MVP candidate Todd Gurley finished with 1,305 rushing yards, second only to Kareem Hunt's 1,327, and his 13 rushing touchdowns led the league. He added 64 receptions and had a half a dozen scores through the air. Rams are tops in the NFL in scoring at 29.9 points per game, a full point higher than any other team, my friend.
This is correct. However,
even though they don't cover, they score a lot.
However, at home, they're only averaging 26. Believe it or not, the Rams play much better on the road, Steve, than they do at home. They were 8-1 straight up on the road this season.
Unreal.
At home, the Rams, now listen to what I'm going to tell you, folks. At home, the Rams were only 3-4 straight up and against the spread at home this year. Only 3-4. The Rams have a losing record at home this year. Did you hear what I said?
Well, this game's
I bet you didn't know that.
The game's at home. They score less at home. Write that down and circle it. We're just trying to tell you real shit. They score less at home.
Yes.
And they win more on the road. So
they're under 50% at home. They're 3-4 straight up and against the spread on their 7 games at home. Now, you're probably saying, well, why only 7, Skip? Didn't they play 8 home games? Wrong. That game against Arizona was played at a neutral site, if you do recall.
Correct. Falcons are 8th in the NFL in points, allowed at 19.7. They're top 12 against the pass, 214 yards per game, and the run, 104. They've allowed more than 21 points just once in their last 6 games. Total, write this down, guys. Total has gone under in Atlanta's last 5 games, but the total has gone over in the last 5 of the Rams games. So last 5 Rams games have went over. Last 5 Atlanta games have went under.
Well, that is correct.
However,
let's talk about this.
Rams are playing at home where they score less points.
Right. And the Rams are without their kicker, who I feel is the best kicker in football, Greg the Leg.
Well, Greg the Leg can suck a cock. These kickers ruin games on a regular basis. You cannot base a team off a kicker, dude.
Listen to me,
Some of
Steve.
these college teams should just take the kicker out of the fucking
Steve,
game and never even put him in.
I've been following Greg the Leg since his college days. Greg the Leg Zerline, I feel, is the best kicker in the NFL. The Rams will miss him in the postseason. Mark my words, people. Kickers are extremely important, especially in the postseason. And when it comes down to that,
he's better than Janikowski, Skip.
Come on, dude. When it comes down to that 48-yarder, yeah. The Rams need to win the fucking game. Just remember, they're not going to be sending Greg the Leg out there. So the Rams score less at home than they do. They average 26 points at home. They average 30 on the year per game, but only 26 at home.
Missing their superstar kicker.
They're missing their superstar kicker. Now, that being said, the Falcons, like you said, 5 straight unders. 10 out of the last 13 Atlanta games have gone under, and 5 out of 8 of their road games have gone under. Are you seeing a trend here?
Yeah, I'm seeing about a 3-hour podcast as well. Go ahead.
I'm talking about the fucking game, dude.
I'm just sitting over here thinking like.
Let me go ahead and sum it up for you.
I'm singing songs in my head, thinking about The Office. Go ahead,
Let me go ahead and sum it up for you. The Rams 3-4 at home.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
3-4 at home, straight up and against the spread. Okay. The Falcons 2-6 against the spread on the road. I don't trust either one of these teams to cover.
I don't either.
The only play on this fucking game is the under.
Period. So moving on, and I agree 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, we've told you. You go to the game, you're rooting for a team, you got your jersey on, you're eating your hot dog, you're drinking your beer. Doesn't necessarily mean that's where you put your fucking money, okay?
Amen, bro.
Bet the total and root your fucking team in to win. It's a lot better.
I don't trust either one of those teams to cover.
I agree.
How can you get Atlanta's 2-6 against the spread on the road in their 8 road games?
You want to talk about
and the Falcons don't win or cover. I mean, the Rams don't win or cover at home.
Well, you'll agree with this. You want to talk about 2 more teams you can't trust? Let's move on to the Bills.
Let's do it.
Bills and Jags.
Oh God Almighty!
You got the Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars -9 with a 39.5, so 40 fucking total.
Right. Be careful. Here's a team, like I told you, that's lost 2 straight games heading into the postseason.
Everyone and their mom's betting the favorite and the under. I find it almost impossible for both of those to come in.
The Buffalo Bills have covered 3 out of their last 4 games, and Jacksonville's coming in off of 2 straight losses into the postseason.
I'd say this is a shit.
Winning is an attitude, people.
It sure as fuck
It's a
is.
feeling in the locker room. It's a vibe. I know Jacksonville's had a great fucking season. They're coming into the postseason with 2 straight losses, and have only covered 3 out of their last 6 games. They're 3-3 against the spread their last 6 games, Steve. And on the flip side of that, Buffalo's covered 3 out of their last 4. Am I saying Buffalo's going to upset the Jaguars? Probably not. Shady McCoy's a little banged up. His ankle's all fucked up.
If Jacksonville should be able to pound them.
On paper, you would think that. However, be careful. It's the postseason, and you got a team that's coming in off a couple losses and does not cover. They're only 50-50 against the spread their last 6 games. And Buffalo, however, they're coming in off a win. They won their last game.
They got a little mojo. Be careful of that low-ass total.
And they've covered 3 out of their last 4 games heading into the postseason.
Be careful of that 39 total. It's a little low. Buffalo Bills advance to the first playoff game, Skip. You didn't know the answer? 18 years.
That's another reason to be excited and take those 9 points.
Those Buffalo Bill fans come deep, dude. I guarantee
they
there's
do.
just as many Bill fans at that Jacksonville game than there is Jacksonville
Well,
fans.
they got an opportunity to get the fuck out of Buffalo where it's like 3 degrees.
It's been 18 years. What a great fucking
Head down to
excuse.
Jacksonville, down
Get
to
in
Florida.
the car and get to the fucking bar, huh?
Get in the car, head down to Florida.
You got to get down to Florida and fucking get it done, huh? Mm-hmm. Shout out to the DeGregorios out there. Buffalo, first time in 18 years.
Shout
guys.
out, Mark.
But unfortunately, their opponents is the defensive-minded Jaguars, who will be just as hungry for the victory in their first home game playoff in 18 years.
Wow. So both of them have an 18-year drought. Shit's going to hit the fucking fan, Stevens.
I don't know what drought is bigger, our salesman Adam on pussy or the fucking Buffalo Bills making it to the fucking playoffs.
All right, here's the poll question.
Oh, shit.
Here's a poll
Go
question.
ahead and do it, Skip.
Who's been on a longer drought? The Buffalo Bills playoffs?
Or Adam from getting played.
Jacksonville a home playoff game? Or one of our salesmen, Adam,
from getting laid.
from getting any pussy?
Dude, those are
That's
that's going to be a fucking tie. That's pretty.
that is a toss-up right there.
Bills will either be missing LaShawn McCoy or have hobbled McCoy. So, do you play him hurt or do you just have him missing? You play him hurt. You put him in there.
He'll be in the game.
And let him play as long as he fucking can. That's
He'll
for
be
sure.
in the game, and he'll be hobbling around, and we'll see what Shady McCoy will do.
And when he comes out, everything's going to go up shit's creek.
I think Adam hurt us. Look at him.
Yeah, I see. Wow.
Look at him. He's walking around with his chest pumped out.
I was just going to say, he's walking
what
around
the
like
fuck's
that
he
little
doing?
peacock.
What's he doing on his cell phone?
There's no cell phones. Unfucking
Look at
believable.
him. He's walking around with his chest pumped up.
You got to love it.
He must have heard us.
The Bill, like I said, once McCoy goes out, look for some crazy shit to happen. Bills had the 4th fewest total yards in the NFL.
Wow.
And guess what? McCoy accounted for more than 31% of them.
Okay, slow down. Let's recap there. The
The Bills have the 4th fewest total yards in the NFL.
And McCoy accounts for 31%.
31% of them
And
via
they're-
rushing and receiving.
And they're playing the heavily defensive-minded Jacksonville Jaguars.
Bills' offensive line was playing its best at the end of the season, but handling Campbell, Jackson, and the rest of the Jacksonville front seven is a tall task. Jacksonville has a very tall, big fucking line, Skip. These are some big boys that don't fuck around. Buffalo's 9-6 against the spread this season.
Yep.
4-5 against the spread as the underdog. Matter of fact, I was at the Buffalo Bill game in San Diego, or in L.A., when they played the L.A. Chargers,
Right.
where I got to see the fucking rookie break and make history with the most interceptions in the first half.
Congratulations.
Had to be the most sorry motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
They benched their starter.
Buffalo 4-5 against the spread as an underdog this year. However, they have covered 3 out of their last 4 games.
This is the last game I'm going to go over because we have to mention it because a lot of people are betting these teams. Carolina and the Saints. Okay? Now hear me out. Carolina's
and the Saints
they're in New Orleans.
go marching in.
-7 against Carolina. That is a crazy line. 48.5. New Orleans won Carolina 34-14 in Week 3 and won almost convincingly at home in Week 13, 31-21. But like you said, playoffs comes to confidence, swag, and the ability to win under the lights like Floyd Mayweather Jr. Can't tell you how many times I brought you over there and seen a superstar in the gym, but under the lights, the guy can't do shit. How many boxers have you seen? Same thing with the NFL, man. You got to be able to play under the lights, and I'll agree. Saints have their card. They beat the fuck out of them twice. Do you think it's the same matchup at this position, at this level of the game?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's what the Big Skipper thinks. I think Drew Brees is a Hall of Fame quarterback. I believe he's the best quarterback in the NFC postseason, my friend. I believe my sleeper to go all the way is the New Orleans Saints, since you asked. I believe the Saints are going to make a major run here in the postseason.
Do you believe you can fly?
I believe.
I believe I can fly.
I'm just going to go ahead and make my prediction right now. Saints and the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Oh, get your fucking paper, Skip. You're coming out hard on them.
I know people ain't going to believe I went against the Eagles, but
Fly like an eagle.
I think there's going to be a cool breeze heading through the link on January 13th, and it's not going to be pretty.
I like it. I don't think they got the team to do it. I've seen spurts of it this year. I want to believe it. We'll see. Panthers had the number 4 rushing offense. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're going to play somebody, you're going to want to play the team that you pounded out twice already this year. If they beat them twice, why can't they beat them again?
Why not? 3 times a charm. Drew Brees.
Once, twice.
Drew Brees will knock out Superman in New Orleans on his home field this week in the wild card round. Now, will they cover? You're going to have to give me a call, and then I'll let you know if they're going to cover or not.
Correct. Well, Brees is, I mean, it's not a secret that their passing game is better than Cam. Panthers have a great, tough run defense, but the Saints have a great success against them with a 1-2 punch of veteran Mark Ingram and the electric rookie Alvin Kamara. So, Carolina's 5-2 against the spread as the underdog. You might want to write that down.
When Carolina
5-2 against the spread as an underdog.
That is true.
That's 70%, guys. New Orleans is 9-7 against the spread this year. Orleans is 8-3 against the spread as a favorite.
Right.
So as a favorite, they've got the job done several different times.
Well, you heard it there. I mean, be careful, Drew Brees, the Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, you might want to look at Drew Brees at the 6.5 to get the fucking job done.
Here'd be a great time to run the promo. What do you think?
Go ahead.
Now, we're sitting here telling you, I just told you I think the Saints are
Well,
going to...
hold on. First of all, if you don't mind, I got to tell people who the promo is sponsored by. I mean, that's how we get that fucking money.
Go right ahead.
Want to let everybody know out there that Skip's big promotion that he's about to run is sponsored by our good old friends over there at BetDSI.com.
Anthony!
Operating for more than 20 years, BetDSI.com is A+ rated, offers fast payment winnings with all odds on all sporting and global events. From the player who demands it all, including office pools, poker rooms, horse wagering, skill games, to the whale bettor who needs a no-nonsense, high-limit sportsbook. BetDSI.com is the perfect choice. So if you're looking for the best solution to place your action, go to BetDSI and use the promotional code CHEDDAR. Use the promotional code CHEDDAR. Get a $25 wager on the house and a 200% bonus on your first deposit. That's promotional code CHEDDAR. BetDSI.com, where it's only a game until you bet it.
You ain't lying.
Let's do a little recap in here, Skip. A little recap.
Can I do my promo now? Or?
Please. I mean, that's the least we can do, considering.
I mean, it's the most important part of the podcast, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2018. Start your fucking year off the right way. If you haven't done business with us, call us. If you've done business with us a year ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, 4 years ago, call us today. Yesterday's a little bit different from today. We're hot as a pistol. We're hotter than fish grease. We're getting that fucking script, that cheddar, that provolone, that scratch. Go ahead, Skip.
It's wild card weekend, as you know. Start off 2018 properly. Start off your NFL playoffs properly. Come and get the money. Here's what I'm going to do. Call me on Friday. Call me Friday before 5 p.m. Pacific time. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you the wild card weekend winners Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to get you the college championship winner on Monday. A 3-day wild card weekend, college championship weekend for just $79. $79. Anybody can afford this. I don't care if you're betting $200 a game or $2,000 a game. Wild card weekend. Start 2018 off right. Start the NFL playoff campaign. Start it off right. $79 for wild card Saturday, wild card Sunday. the college championship game Monday, and I'm going to go ahead and throw in Friday's college basketball to jumpstart your bankroll before the playoffs start this weekend. So NBA and college basketball Friday and football all weekend, $79, 877-220-6540. Let's make some money together in 2018. Let's do it right now.
For less than this, you have a fucking chance of dealing with the guys from my corporation. For less than this, you have a chance of talking to me personally.
You'd have to be out of your mind not to call.
Skip personally. One call. That's all.
$79 wild card weekend and Monday's college championship game. $79. Give us a call.
We want to recap a little college. Last week we said USC was 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 times out as an underdog. Okay. Ohio State is 11-2 against the spread in the last 13 games against the Pac-12. Ohio State covered easily.
Easy money, Brandon.
24-10. We said the Bulldogs have been slightly superior team against the spread this year, going 9-4 against Oklahoma's 8-5 record. Oklahoma gave that game up. I thought it was scripted for the boy to come back at the end.
What
there,
a fucking game
get the job done.
Wow.
Fantastic fucking game to watch on TV. Loved it, and the outcome was phenomenal. Georgia prevailed over Oklahoma, 54-48.
After that Penn State USC Rose Bowl 2 years ago, last year, you never would have thought that they would. I mean, they set a record for points scored, Penn State and USC last year in the Rose Bowl. And sure enough, this year, 54-48, set a new record in the Rose Bowl.
We're going to preview.
What a game that was.
Yeah, well, what a game that's going to happen is even more here to come. Alabama -4 against Georgia.
National championship this Monday.
Totals 45. I'm hearing a lot of talk.
We don't want to tell them too much because I want them to call for that promotion.
Well, here's what
this is part of the promotion.
This is all I'll say. Alabama and Georgia, after not meeting in the regular season, play each other again Monday night, this time in the SEC College Championship playoff in Atlanta. Alabama outgained Clemson 261-188, outrushed the Tigers 141-64, and won the turnover battle 2-1. The Georgia Bulldogs reached the title game by outlasting Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl 54-48 in double overtime. Georgia racked up 527 yards offensively, including 317 on the ground, as Sonny Michel tailed 181 yards and 3 touchdowns, while Nick Chubb had 145 yards and 2 scores.
Well, he had a chubby.
Well, he had a chubby-wubby. The dynamic duo totaled 326 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground. However, we gave you this stat last podcast as well. Alabama has allowed the fewest yards and the fewest points of any team in the country.
I think that's when I coughed and told them to take the under in the
And
Alabama
Bama
game.
racked up 30 sacks and 21 turnovers, not to mention the gaining pick 6 by linebacker Mack Wilson last week versus Clemson. Total has gone over in 5 of Alabama's last 6 games against Georgia. Alabama's 1-4 in its last 5 games in January. We're just going to tell you this. You better be looking at a total. And another thing you better be looking at is John Gruden coming to coach our motherfucking Raiders, so when they get to Vegas, we can have some gangster shit going on. Woo! Boy, you get John Gruden over to the fucking Raiders, that's going to be some outrageous shit, Skip. You know what? Here's the deal. I got a lot of basketball to go over, like I said in the beginning, but you know what? Fuck that, and fuck everybody that's looking for free information. You want my basketball? Call me, spend some money, we'll partner up, and I'll make you more money than you've ever made in your fucking life.
Now you're making sense.
Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're making money hand over fist.
If it don't make sense, it don't make dollars.
It don't make dollars, it don't make sex. If the bitch can't swim, she's definitely going to drown.
Right.
There's a reason why they make sidewalks. Streets aren't for everybody. I'm in these streets grinding, dealing with players, coaches, CEOs. You want to deal with a guy that texts you a game? You want to deal with a guy that's calling you from a Motel 6 on a cell phone? You want to deal with a guy that's calling you from an underwear, fucking farting, drinking a tall can of beer? Or you want to deal with a guy that's been in the same location for 17 years, world-renowned, documented on CNBC at 72%, a guy that has a team of experts designed to generate the best sports information available? I deal with players, coaches, CEOs, more importantly, the guy that make the line. The guys that bottom line get the fucking job done. I'm a guy that puts my money where my mouth is, and I know you're that type of guy too. I want to make you more money in 2018 than you've ever made in your fucking life. If you've never dealt with us, call fucking now. He just gave you an opportunity to spend less than a $100 fucking bill to deal with my corporation. Whether you're small or tall, crawling or balling, I can help you. To all you guys out there in the stock market making big fucking money right now, congratulations. Give me a call. Let me show you how to turn 5,000 into 25,000. Let me show you guys how to invest 100,000 to make 300,000 in 30 to 60 fucking days. America is getting great again. Like I said, stock market's popping, businesses are popping, and more importantly, there's more money to be made in sports betting than any other investment in the fucking world. On the behalf of myself, the Big Skipper, and VIP Sports, remember, it's 2018. Let's start off with a fucking bang. The only thing you should be worried about right now is focusing on what you do, getting better at it. Fuck all these fake New Year's resolutions. I want to quit smoking. I'm not going to do drugs anymore.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
not going to put this in my hair.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
not going to suck 15 cocks this week. Fuck all the fake bullshit. Keep it real with yourself. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can lie to me. You can lie to everybody else. But don't lie to your fucking self.
I'm not going to suck
Go into
15
this year
cocks.
with a realistic fucking goal. And being realistic is being a better person than you were last year. Being better in 18 than you were in 17. If you're married, be better to your girl than you were last year. If you own a business, work harder than you did last year. If you're around people, motivate them more than you did last year. If you're in a sales business and you want to be better than everybody else, inspire people, motivate. Be all you can be. If you're working as hard as you're supposed to, you don't have time to pay attention to nobody else. Focus on your craft. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't take no for an answer. And hang around nothing but motivational people, and I guarantee you one thing, you'll get positive results. That's one thing you can take to the fucking bank. Fair enough? On behalf of VIP Sports and myself, Happy New Year. We love you. Go get that fucking money. And remember, don't let the players be the only ones that get paid. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
It's Steve Stevens, I bust your bookie head open. Split it to the white meat, I ain't joking. Me and Dirt Bomb in the ghost float. Straight OG like that kush I be smoking. It's way too potent for rookies to come hit it. A little white girl around, I might sniff it. Poppin' bub in the club, so twisted. My pops keeps telling me to go get it. So I'm at the sports book, betting big on the Clippers. I'm talking about 5 figures, I need a few shots of liquor. Might need another zipper if the bomb play me. Fuck around and put a $500,000 on Tom Brady. When it comes to betting sports, Steve Stevens a beast. Need a certified winner called VIP Sports. Got too many felonies to ride around with my Glock, so sure to keep it since I got shot in Vegas like Byron.